What if there was a tool that metaphorically allowed you to break the rules to come up with new ideas? It was created by Walt Disney for the film Fantasia in 1940. Step 1, list the rules of the challenge you're working on. He was frustrated that he couldn't pump heat and mist into the theatre, so he just wrote down the rules of going to a movie theatre. I must sit down, I must be quiet, I must pay to get in, I must go at a set time, it is dark, and Walt, I can't control the environment. And that frustrated him. Step 1, list the rules of your challenge. Step 2, pick one and ask the most audacious what-if question. He said, what if I could control the environment? He couldn't. He didn't own the theatres. Besides, it wasn't provocative enough. The more audacious your what-if statement, the further out of your river of thinking you'll get. So he said, what if I take my movies out of the theatre? Well, don't be stupid, Walt. They'll fall over. They're two-dimensional. What if I made them three-dimensional? Well, how are you going to do that, Walt? Well, what if I had people dressed in costume walk around as characters? Yeah, but Walt, you can't have Cinderella standing next to Davy Crockett. People wouldn't be immersed in her story. What if I put them in a different land? Oh, wait a minute. What if I called it Disneyland? We're done here. Now, you're looking at Disney saying you can't afford to do that. I'm saying you can. There was a very small company in the days before automation in Great Britain. They used to make glasses that we drink out of. They found there was too much breakage and not enough production. So they went down to the shop floor, observed the challenge and wrote down the rules. 26 employees, conveyor belt, 12 glasses to a box, 6 on the top, 6 on the bottom. Separated by corrugated cardboard, wrapped in newspaper, employees reading newspaper. So somebody asked the relatively provocative what-if question, what if we poke their eyes out? Well, that's against the law and it's not very nice. But because they had the courage to ask the most provocative question of all, the person sitting next to him immediately got out of their river thinking, he said, well, wait a minute, why don't we just hire blind people? So they did. Production up 26%, breakage down 42%, and the British government gave them a 50% salary subsidy for hiring people with disabilities. You need to ask this question when you're at the top of your game. In 2016, the world had seen Ebola, bird flu, and H1N1. SARS and COVID were yet to come. 6 of us sat in a room and said, what if this goes global and we have to close our theme parks and our movie theatres around the world for 12 to 24 months? Had we not have asked that question, we wouldn't have said, what if we went to the consumer? Now, hands up here, you lovely people who have Disney Plus at home. Come on, I know you're out there. Look at that. 40% of this room. Multiply that by planet Earth. That's a fair good chunk of revenue. List the rules of the challenge you're working on. Pick one and ask the most audacious what-if question.